G'day ladies and gents, welcome to War Thunder with Mags, and welcome aboard the F9F-2 Panther. Now recently I've been going back through the videos I've been posting onto my channel, and I've realised I really don't have a lot of jet gameplay up on my channel at the moment. What I do have up on the channel at the moment tends to be first impressions videos, or videos of the aircraft, generally with very few, if any, upgrades. So for the last week I've been going out of my way to try and get some upgrades on a huge collection of my jets. In this time I've pretty much managed to complete all the performance and cannon upgrades for the ME262 A1A. I've managed to do the same on the MiG-15 Biz. I have also managed to complete the brand new Venom up to the bomb pylons. And this is the other plane that I've been working on, the F9F-2. Now this one is not fully finished yet. Down to the wings and engine on the main performance mods. The airframe upgrade is in process at the moment. I don't have the cover yet, and none of the weapon systems, so no belts, no cannons, no bomb pylons have been unlocked. Now I'm flying out this match with Grievous. We've just had first contact with the first two MiG-15s, and we're beginning to move in. As you can see, my engine's currently in overheat. The F9F recently had a few performance changes, and it is now, well, it suffers some serious overheating problems if you ride the WEP too hard. Thankfully, as you can see, cooling it down is simply a matter of pumping the throttle back and forward, and it drops down to white again, and it's all comfortable. Braking right, there are two MiG-15s engaging teammates at low altitude, moving in to try and rescue him. Just selecting which target to go for. I'm probably going to go for whichever one pulls out vertical first. That's the one that I'm going to have the most likely chance of being able to get shots on. However, neither of them appear to be pulling out. Grievous goes through and takes the wing off the first one beautifully. I bring it around. MiG-15, the second one, passes underneath me. Now I actually get a little confused here for a split second. I lock onto this one here thinking it's the one that just passed through. That's not the one that just passed through, that's the MiG-15 that Grievous just shot down. So that was kind of a oops moment. Down he goes, so that's, well, I suppose at least I made sure he was dead. Bring it around to the right, Grievous is engaging an additional two MiG-15 Biz. Now there were two MiG-15s over here a second ago, one of them's broken out past 6 kilometres and exited. This F-86 booms through the second MiG-15, I take my first burst and miss. Line up the second shot, and that is going to most certainly leave a mark. Now I'm sure you've noticed by now I am not going by the name Mags this match. I've actually had to change it again. It turns out shooting down YouTubers trying to grind out stock aircraft in Era 5 battles is a very popular sport amongst jet pilots, so I've had to go incognito to be able to get these planes done. So we had two MiGs closing in our position. Me and Grievous are just looping around, forcing them to overshoot. This LA-15 comes in, I try a burst and then snap out, but he rolls out of the head-on at exactly the same time, so neither one of us connect. I really don't like doing them, but when I'm stuck in a position of low speed at low altitude, there's limited options available to what you can do, especially with something as manoeuvrable as the LA-15. LA-15 actually got a massive buff this patch, it's performing extremely well. So I took a risk trying to burst out this MiG, and I just didn't have enough oomph. And unfortunately it did leave me open to an attack. The LA-15 has turned around and come back. As I said, the bloody things are manoeuvrable now. So take it down to the ground, pop the air brakes in order to pull out of the dive. And in the time it took me to pull that roll over and pull out of that dive, it's already turned around and coming back on me again. Just take a massive strike to the elevator, it sends it red. It is still responsive, but the plane has become sluggish. The Panther should be faster than the LA-15, however, so I try and run. I have called for assistance from Grievous. Unfortunately, he has nothing but bad news for me. There's a MiG-15 Biz and a CL-13A currently converging on my location, so fine. If they want to attack me, I'm going to make sure they're attacking me in a straight line that Grievous can work with. Put it on the river and run. And it works. The MiG-15 Biz and the CL both dive in behind to try and follow me down the canyon. The F-86A5 cripples the CL-13 and sends it into the ground, and Grievous blasts the MiG-15 in half, which just leaves the LA-15 on my tail, and he just broke off to avoid Grievous, so I bring the plane around quickly. Lock on, I want some revenge on this bastard from my elevator. Try and line up the shot in front of him, but he flies through the shells. Close pass with Grievous, take it back into the vertical, and Grievous takes out the LA-15 as well. I hate to say this, because I know I'm never going to hear the end of it from him, but Grievous is a vastly better F9F pilot than I am. And he really is showcasing those F9F skills this match. But no time for pats on the back, another MiG-15 is incoming, and this time Grievous is actually out of ammunition. He's blown everything he's got on his 3 kills that he has so far. So I'm going to move in and try and engage this MiG-15 and make sure he's got a big enough window, get back to the runway and get himself some ammunition. Of course, I'm never going to catch this MiG-15 while it's zooming through the area like it is. It's got all the speed in the world and it can just pull vertical and easily outclimb the F9F. My only real chance to actually catch this guy is if he either slows himself down deliberately, or he starts trying to manoeuvre, and going in the vertical like that will do just nicely, thank you. Try and take it up as well. One burst down. No hits, just completely on the wrong angle. Trying to track him with my guns, just not quite getting there. Second burst, missed, shells fall short. Third, no, he's out of range. Damn it. Now at this point I realise Grievous has actually turned back around and is hanging around with me for the moment. He's just trying to provide a distraction. The enemy don't know he's out of ammunition at the moment, they just know he's got 3 kills, so he is a fairly visible threat. Now my friend in the MiG-15 has turned around and is coming back in. Just diving down to get as much airspeed as I possibly can. I was running a little low. Try and burst back up. He looks like he's moving in on Grievous. First burst again, completely wide. Just crap shooting on my behalf. Roll it over, fire the second shots. And there we go. Take off his wing right as he's getting into gun range with Grievous. And Krynek, also in an F9F-2, takes down a second MiG-15 biz that was in the area. So that is all the hostiles in this zone gone. So considering I only edited out 60 seconds of climbing at the start of this video from the takeoff, up to this point it's been a pretty intense 8 minutes worth of match. There is still a hostile player alive, however Grievous is out of ammo, I have a knackered elevator, we both decide time to go back to the runway. I'll fly a cat for him while he's putting down, and he can grab his ammo, I'll repair after, and if the guy's still alive we'll go hunt for him. Of course, that was never ever going to happen. The rest of the team was already out hunting for him by the time we got back to the runway. Grievous has just made it to the runway to put down and grab fresh ammo, and the match came to a close. So let's go check out the results. So, Grievous comes in first place with 3 kills. I come in third place with only 2. As I said, bloody good F9F pilot. Teamwork X3, Bomber Rescuer and the Best Squad, 44,585 Silver Lions, and 3,635 research points on a premium account, no double. And as you can see, that brought me a chunk of the way into the airframe. The airframe, the cover, and the cannons and belts are the only real upgrades I consider that I have left to go. Bomb pylons are nice, but I can't think of any time where I've ever actually bolted a bomb on a jet, short of actually flying the new jet bombers. So, the F9F-2. Now, this thing actually had its battle rating increased in patch 1.43. When I first saw the battle rating increase, I didn't think it was warranted, but now having gotten some upgrades on the plane and spending some time with it at this BR, I'm not so sure anymore. It's sort of hard to argue that the BR is too high when you're shooting down MiG-15s with very little issue. Now for my next battle, we're in the F7F. I know, boo, hiss, why do I pull this thing out in public? Well, this one is actually a special request from Jason Hines on my Facebook page. Apparently the F7F is one of his favourite aircraft of all time, and he would like to see some more videos. So here you go, Jason, I hope you enjoy. I think this will also be the first time I've put the F7F up on the channel fully upgraded. This is a spaded plane now. And this match is also, well, it's also a bit of a special match. This is Grievous's first battle in the F7F. So of course, with the combination of an air start and the climb rate of a homesick angel, we were able to easily catch these N1Ks while they were still trying to climb. Went to make a pass on the first one, unfortunately wasn't able to get the shot, so I'll just kill the second one instead. That's my first kill of the match, and we're already only about 2 minutes in. Grievous made a pass at the second N1K, unfortunately no connection, so he's just gaining altitude and speed and pulling in on my tail, ready for our next passes. We're working as a team here. So just making the turn around, and we have another N1K up here at altitude. We cannot have that, so line him up. I'm more than willing to go head to head with an N1K. The low velocity Japanese 20mm versus the Doom cannons this thing is armed with. Unfortunately, he knows his stuff. half turn through the centre of it beats the yaw rate of the aircraft, and I just could not get my guns on target. So I'll just take it back to altitude and line him up again. Grievous also makes a pass, and he does exactly the same thing. So he dives away to get some airspeed up, N1K pulls back to altitude, I'll just duck straight underneath you. And he takes the altitude advantage. You know what? Fine. If you don't want to do me the courtesy of dying, then you can sit there and play by yourself. We'll go over and play with the J7W1 instead, see if he's more interested. Now, I was just lining the J7W1 up for a head-on, and I had a last-minute realisation that that aircraft has 430mm cannons, so I just rolled out. Screw it, we're not doing that either. I'm just going to go get some altitude instead. So, we have multiple N1Ks and a J7W1. Unfortunately, because Grievous's aircraft is stock, he is vastly slower and he's directly underneath these aircraft, so I'm going to have to come back around and try and give him a hand here. Thankfully I don't have to do it alone, the rest of the team has finally caught up. We've got 2 premium Spitfires that have just pulled into the area, and I missed the shots in the N1K. Ah well, no matter, I'll go for the J7W1 instead. Nope, not going to be able to get an angle on that. Alright, I'll go back for altitude. We'll try this again. And this is one of the true advantages of the TigerCat in combat. Once it's got altitude and speed on its side, it can pick and choose every single engagement in exactly the same way that a jet can. You see a lot of jokes floating around in matches that the TigerCat is actually a jet, and, well, it's actually not far from the truth. The poor N1K was a little slow on the rollover, and unfortunately I've just blasted off most of the control surfaces on his tail, and he is now in a death spiral heading towards the ground with very little he can do to save himself. So, lining up around for the J7W1 next, it cannot outrun me. There's just no option for it to be able to outrun me. 840, the red line finally comes up. You can actually push this plane out pretty safely past that. The J7W1 is a fast aircraft, but it is not escaping me. Grievous is going in for shots too. 2 TigerCats on his tail. This guy must be hating this at the moment. Pulls it in the vertical and uses a manoeuvrability. Very, very, very nicely done. If it sounds like I am enjoying watching this guy outmaneuver me, it's because I am. I actually enjoying watching all the Japanese pilots escape from my guns. In a dive, already back to 610, lining up the shot. Not this time. And down he goes. He did put up a bloody good fight though. So yes, as I was saying, I do really like the TigerCat, don't get me wrong. I actually love this plane, it is great. But I'm going to have very little respect for it until it loses its air spawn and actually has a BR that is proportional to its performance. As you can see here, this is a 6.3 battle rating match and a 5.3 aircraft, and I'm just culling these planes. Speaking of culling them, there's another one. So the kill count for this match so far is 1 J7W1 and 2 N1Ks for 3 kills, with a 4th aircraft that I crippled, but it was only classed as a crash. I wasn't awarded the kill. Totally balanced plane, comrade. Actually, at this point, the game sort of got a bit boring for about 5 minutes because we couldn't find anything to kill. Then me and Grievous both spot this poor premium B-17 at low altitude. We're both side by side and we're both diving in on him. Looking at these 2 TigerCats diving in, this guy must have been going, just fuck my life. He had no chance. I rake one right across him and cripple his aircraft. Grievous comes in and just blasts the wings straight off it and takes his first kill of the match. And that was pretty much the end of our action for the rest of this match. There is still a G8N flying around somewhere. It is eventually spotted and we do end up trying to chase it down. Unfortunately, it was spotted over near our carrier group, which means we have an F80C and another F7F that have an almost 15km head start on me and Grievous, so we just can't cover the distance. The aircraft was destroyed before we ever got within visual range. So, let's go out to the results. And so, ladies and gents, I present to you a fairly typical match in a fully upgraded TigerCat. 3 kills, 1 assist, first strike, shadow strike X2, multi-strike X2, win streak X3, supporting fire, teamwork, the best squad, terror of the sky, bulletproof, on hand, 75,805 silver lions, and we're looking at 4,156 RP, which I have nothing to spend it on. So that goes straight into my already 25.51 million convertible XP pile. And that match really wasn't anything special. That's what a fully upgraded TigerCat should be able to do in the current environment of War Thunder, and it's precisely what it does. It's a lethal machine, so that's the sort of result you would expect. Nevertheless, it was a good fun match. It's always good to fly out with a good wingman and have a bit of a blast, especially when one of the two of you have a nice new plane that you've never flown before. Anyways, Jason Hines, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope everyone else did too. Click like if you do, subscribe if you want to see more. Fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies. Garcia on the wings, take it off, without that, and yeah, well, I hate to hear if that's the Marks, Miss Elmo, she was Kelsey's. There it is.